Thank you very much. I would like to take a moment to ask Mr. Efimov a few questions about his childhood. So, where were you born?
I was born in St Petersburg, Russia. It was Leningrad at the time. It's a big city, 5 million population. The 60th parallel, it's actually parallel of Anchorage, believe it or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So very
cold, very
cold.
We don't count wind chill, by the way. Minus 52, I mean, it's minus 52, plus whatever it is.
And how long did you live there?
For 31 years of my life, and then I moved to the United States, to Milwaukee.
To Milwaukee?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm in Milwaukee today.
So what we'd like to do is walk you back to your childhood Christmases.
Probably someday.
Could you tell us a little about Christmas gifts? Did you get Christmas gifts?
Oh, absolutely.
And when did Santa come?
Well, nobody really knew when.
Okay.
We just
So
never
they
called
showed
the guy. Well, today people think I'm Santa. I'm not. Well, kids usually think I am, and parents encourage them, saying, "Oh yeah, he's Santa Claus." And well, kids are very smart today. They say, "Yeah, sure, he's Santa." And I say, "Oh," and all doubts are gone. And I say,
So you were there throughout all of your childhood, and what are the memories that you have of, for instance, some of the food or some of the smells of, as a young boy at Christmas?
Christmas, in my mind, always associated with mandarins or tangerines and oranges and bananas. Bananas were very hard to find in Soviet Union. Pretty much anything were hard to find. And those are the smells. Foods, Christmas Eve, it was just a feast. There was so many things. Obviously, we all love herring, so it was a lot of herring. It was a lot of beets, a lot of blintzes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and obviously people drink champagne. I don't know why champagne, that was a very expensive drink, and an uppity up kind of drink. Well, Russian people mix it with vodka, and then everything was fine.
And everything tastes better?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Russian mayo, You mix vodka with everything, and everything tastes okay.
And tell us about the Christmas gifts. Now, you were saying that Santa would bring them and brings them perhaps at different times, but you never saw Santa. The gifts just showed up.
We had a statue of him under every tree.
Under every tree was a statue of Santa?
Absolutely. Well, we didn't call him Santa. It was obviously, Soviet Union was atheistic state, so no Santas. He was Grandpa Frost.
Grandpa Frost.
Grandpa Frost, yeah. He looked like Santa. He sounded like Santa. He was dressed like Santa. He didn't have glasses. I guess Soviet Santa had like 20/20 vision or something. Anyhow, interesting thing about Russian Santa didn't have Mrs. Santa Claus.
Huh.
But he had a granddaughter, Snegurочка, her name was.
A granddaughter?
Yeah.
A wife, a granddaughter?
No, a granddaughter. She was like maybe 20, 19, something like that. For some reason, she was wearing a miniskirt all the time. I have no idea why. But, that's kind of tradition. Interesting thing about her, so everyone knows Snegurочка. She's Grandpa Frost's granddaughter. Where are the parents? Good question. Russian people figured that out. They decided that parents were sent to Gulag.
So tell us about the gifts. You were sharing a story with me that one of your surprises coming to America about Christmas gifts.
Yeah, that was, well, first of all, kids always had only one gift. One gift, not multiple gifts, but one gift. And it was never wrapped, by the way. So when I came to the United States, all of a sudden I saw all these multiple gifts, and every gift is wrapped, and I thought, what a waste of paper, it's just, and it's gone, Some people save it, by the way. I was just told today, yeah, my mom just saves all this papers. Some girl told me at Starbucks. I spend a lot of money at Starbucks. So anyhow, that was kind of a surprise for me. Also, another surprise was that Christmas tree was a pine tree. That's a blasphemy. No. Christmas tree has to be spruce in Russia. Spruce, only spruce.
Oh.
And never pine, which is obviously a strange thing. tree is a tree is a tree. Some of it is plastic, you know.
I want to go back to, you mentioned about the government. How did the government back in your day, the communist government, look upon Christmas?
Well, excellent question, because whatever I'm telling you about Christmas is actually, I'm talking about Christmas, well, not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Obviously, Russian Christmas, first of all, everything is different. Russian Christmas is on the 6th of January.
Okay.
So, not
the 25th of December.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
6th of January, 6th and 7th, so Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. But Soviet officials obviously always frowned upon it. So no one celebrated Christmas. People would go to the church, but you know, you have to be careful because if you're a young person, you could be kind of blacklisted, I guess. And I actually had friends of mine thrown into jail just because they were singing Christmas carols at the church.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's how it was. It was very severe from this standpoint. But everyone was celebrating end of the year, 31st of December. And, you know, that's where gifts were given and Santa was standing there, you know, and saying, ho, 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 you know, whatever he was saying. And Snegurочка, his granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And other traditions, you were talking sometimes there would be sleigh rides. What
Sleigh rides, oh yeah, absolutely. I took so many of them and I loved them. I don't know if you know what troika is. Troika is 3 horses pulling a sleigh with sleigh bells. It's a wonderful, wonderful ride. Very, very, very exciting. And in downtown St. Petersburg, we have a river which is called Never River. A long time ago, before global warming, it was frozen solid. And these troika rides were, kids were taking these troika rides right on the ice of Never River. And it's absolutely fascinating because you look at one side of the river and you see Winter Palace, Hermitage, and St. Isaac Cathedral. On the other side is St. Peter and Paul's fortress with beautiful gilded cupolas and stuff like that. It's just absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that you have composed a piece of music called Troika.
Troika.
So again, if you missed it through the accent, Troika, he was saying, is 3 horses pulling a sleigh. Can you count in Russian 1, 2, 3?
Раз, два, три.
3.
3.
And
Troika. That's why it's Troika.
And that's where the Troika comes, the 3. And we're going to ask Mr. Efimov to play. This is a solo piano piece that he wrote. And we're going to ask you to play it, if you don't mind, right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Enjoy.
Pleasure would be mine.
Enjoy his own composition, Troika.